In this problem, we want to multiply two trinomials. Um, in order to multiply two polynomials of any kind, what we want to do is multiply each piece of the first bit by each piece of the second bit. And we multiply all those little bits together and add them all up. Right? If these were two binomials, say a plus b times a c plus d, we could keep track of all these multiplications with that FOIL acronym that everybody likes so much. And all FOIL is, right, is it's a way of keeping track of which multiplications we've done and what we have yet to do. So F, take the first bits, multiply them together. O, take the outer bits, multiply them together. I, take the inner bits, multiply them together. And L, take those last bits and multiply them together. So at the end of the day, we've done 4 multiplications, and there's 4 letters in the word FOIL. When we're multiplying trinomials, or anything other than two binomials, we don't have a nice acronym for helping us keep track of things, so we need to keep track in another way. But ultimately, what we're interested in doing is taking this first bit, multiplying it here, here, and here, adding those things together, and also adding to that sum the second bit times this piece, that piece, that piece, adding all that together, and then finally this third bit, multiplying here, here, and here. So at the end of the day, we've got 9 different multiplications that are going to happen when I'm multiplying a trinomial times a trinomial. So we just need to keep track of all 9 of those, make sure that we've done all of them once and only once. And it can be easy to accidentally repeat ourselves and do a multiplication more than once, or perhaps to skip one, unless we do things in a very methodical manner and keep track of things somehow. So I'm going to do these multiplications in the same way that I listed them here. These orange ones, 8x squared times 7x squared, 8x squared times x, 8x squared times minus 1. And as I go, I'm going to cross out the ones that I've done until I've got all 9 of them. So let's do this multiplication. 8x squared times 7x squared, 8 times 7 is 56. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. So I've done that one. Now we have 8x squared times x. So I take and add to my 56 x to the 4th. 8 times x squared times x is x cubed. 8x squared times minus 1, minus 8x squared. X times 7x squared, that's a 7x cubed. X times x, that's an x squared. X times minus 1, negative x. Negative 2 times 7x squared, minus 14x squared. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. And I'm almost out of room, but negative 2 times minus 1 is, let me squeeze it down here. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So here are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 terms. All right. And we've done each of the multiplications here to here. When I'm doing this on paper and I have 2 fingers to point with, or a finger and a pencil, I'll usually take my left hand and I'll point at the first element over here in the first trinomial, and I'll take my pencil in my right hand and pointing at the first element in the right hand polynomial, and then I'll come down here and I'll write that, and then I'll move my pencil over one and I'll write that product. I'll move my pencil over one and I'll write that product. And then I move my left hand pointer finger onto the next element over here, and then again I take my right hand and I go from left to right, writing down each of those 3, and then I move my pointer finger once again and my pencil get all 3 of those. We just need to make sure that we get all those multiplications. So be careful with that. Let's go ahead and collect some like terms, get this in a little bit nicer form. I only have one x to the 4th term, so let's write it down, 56 x to the 4th. Now I can go ahead and find my x cubed terms. Here's one of them. Here's one of them. 8 plus 7 is 15 x cubed. And then I also have some x squareds, negative 8x squared, plus x squared is negative 7x squared, minus 14x squared is a negative 21x squared. And then I have a negative x, and I have a negative 2x, that's a negative 3x. And then finally, I have this plus 2. So here is our final answer.